Oh, we're in. We're in. Deal with that fish, mate.
Well, second one in as many minutes. It's like we're bagging up on the bags. She's in. There's number 3.
Good morning, and you join me again at Linear Tar Farm Complex. I'm on Lake 7. Now I've chosen, bear in mind, before I say why we chose this, there's a Go Catch app you have to go on, so you do have to select a peg prior to your visit. Now I chose peg 10, and I'll tell you why now on Lake 7, because there's a contour map on the Linear website or the Linear Facebook. You do need to check that, because some of these lakes have got very, very deep areas, and then they've got constant sort of mid-water areas, mid-depth, and then they've got shallow areas. So do go on the Linear website, or like I say, the Facebook, and check the contour maps. Now I chose peg 10. To my left in 9, you've got quite a deep area. Out in front of 10, and we're going to do this with a marker float as well, it's 14 foot, rising up to about 10 against the reed bed to my right hand side. So we've chose that, and luck would have it, and it is lucky, I promise you, because we booked this about 5 days ago. There's a massive wind, which is why I'm hiding behind the trees, blowing into this corner, which you can probably hear anyway. So I'm going to base this one around. Now Linear is quite famous for big hit fishing, fingers crossed, and big baiting. So I'm going to put a lot of bait out on this one, and I'm going to stick 2 rods to that, 3 if it works, and we'll see how many we can get, but we've got to get them first. And I'm going to have one to my right. I've got a really long, nice, probably 80 yards of reed bed along the side here, to the right hand side of the peg. And I'm going to try that with solid bags, and just a smattering of bait. So we'll just weigh the 2 methods up against each other and see how we get on. Bear in mind, you know me, if the baited area starts producing, 3 rods will go on the baited area. So we haven't caught anything yet, we're not even fishing yet, and I'm saying to you we're going to try for a big hit of fish. So let's hope it works in our favour this time. The wind's in our favour, the depth's in our favour, the area we've chose I think is definitely going to be in our favour. So without further ado, I've got to yet again tell you I'm going to stop waffling. There's a marker rod in against the tree over there. Yes, I've looked at the contour map, but I do now need to, in my own mind, find where I'm happy with. We want a nice flat area, probably about the 12 to 14 foot for a big hit of bait. So I'm going to leave you now, and you'll come back to me when I'm holding that marker rod. Thank you. Right, marker float work. Now, this is something I rarely see people doing, even for zig fishing. You need this just to get the, more important with zig fishing, but for feature finding on the lake bed, a marker float is essential. Now, I use them, I don't use them as much as I should, but I've used them here because of the difference in the depths out in this lake. So the left rod, or the left and the middle rod, are going at, there's a poplar. It's 13.5 wraps, and it's nice and smooth. So I was looking out there then, nice and smooth. Then it's like a bit of Canadian weed. So I'm having 2 on that with the baited area. The right hand one is going in line with the second swim, the second empty swim on the far bank. That's 14.5 wraps, and that's going to be just solid bags. So we're going to see what happens, and hopefully they'll both produce. Now, if the bag produces more than the baited area, I'll put 2 on that. If the baited area produces, all 3 will go on it. So without further ado, lean this on the tree. And now I'll let you get some bait out there. Thank you. Right, the bait has now been mixed up. So what we've done here, I think it was 3 or 4 little scoops of ice cream, the pellet, the 8 and 6 mil. Then we put in 1 big scoop of the 10 mil ice cream boilies. The creme de la creme. Next was 2 tins of corn, half a jar of hemp seed. We give that a right good stir up. And then a good squidging, half a dozen squidges of the ice cream sauce, which tastes amazing. Not that I'm saying you should eat it or drink it, but it does taste amazing. Now that ain't a lot of bait, but it's enough for a base. I want to put all that out now on top of the left, where the left and right rod's going to go, because we haven't even sorted that rods yet. But that whole little bucket's going out there. It gives you a base, and then all you've got to do after a bite, I'll knock up another bucket ready and just top it up with a couple of bombs, hopefully after each bite. So now you little lot need to go in the water. Right, time to get riggy. On my knee here, on one rod I've gone for two 10mm pink. Look, the other month I fished in this lake at the far end with a couple of my mates, and I had a lot of bites, and nearly every single bite was on pink. So as you're going to see with the rigs, pink is where I'm going to start with these. So I've got two 10mm pop-ups on one rig on a Ronnie, which, as you know, as I'm laughing there, is one of my absolute favourite presentations. But two 10mm pinks because I like to be different. On the middle one, it's going to be, as you can see, there's an ice cream wafter, cork dust wafter with a sliver of pink pop-up on the top of it, just to balance the bait really, so the hook's laying on the lake bed, and the hook bait is sitting up like a little block of flats. The third one, again, look, pinky, is going to be a little solid bag, because that's the right hand rod, which is going to be fished completely on its own. So we've got double 10mm, a little wafter, and a pink in a bag. Now, I've been here hours and hours and hours talking to you guys, and it's about time I got these in the water. Thank you. Well, good evening, and I've got to say, so far we've got absolutely nothing to report. In my defence, we didn't put the rods out till early, if not mid-afternoon, which isn't the best of time. You all know that. It's sunny, that's my excuses out of the way, and I hadn't seen absolutely anything down this end of the lake. Again, I'm going to repeat, this is go catch and you have to book, so you are a bit stuck temporarily. I started seeing a few right as far as you can get away from us, I don't know, between sort of peg 5 and 6 against the other end bank, which is ironically enough behind this really nice warm northwesterly wind. That's an option for tomorrow, because if we haven't had any fish by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we will not be panicking, because I don't do the panic thing, but we will be loading that barrow that's behind you guys, and we'll be tootling off up the other end, as long as when we check with Linear that them swims are vacant. So, not all is lost yet. We've got a better bait out there with 2 rods on it. I've got one about 7-8 yards to the right of it with a solid bag on its own, like I discussed earlier. Let's hope we get a few fish tonight. So see you in the morning with me sausage sandwiches, and hopefully I'll tell you we've had 4 or 5 carp. Good night. Well, good morning, and looking at the weather now, you'd find it hard to believe that it poured the rain literally all night long, but nothing happened. Not feeling it in this corner, loading the barrow, and the solid bag rod goes off. So we've got a nice little mirror, but we are still going to be moving. Now, the only fish I've seen on this lake this morning, there's quite a few showing right at the very far end, peg 6, but that's booked. We cannot get. There's not a move on this lake where we feel confident that we're going to get a few fish. So we'll find somewhere where we feel that we've got a chance of getting a few bites, and we'll get back to you when we've found where we want to be and let you know which lake we're on and what peg we're in. Is that all right? I don't want to be a pain, but we need. I've had a fish for the film, but it's not happening, mate.
Okay. Yeah. Have a look.
Right, I'll go and have a look round. We're probably going to end up with something like 5. There's only one person on 5, but I'll have a look, and then I'll ring you before we set ourselves up.
All right, mate.
Speak to you in a bit, Ed. Thank you, Adam.
All right,
Cheers, man.
Bye.
now we've settled in, everything's settled down. That was a bit hectic this morning, and it might seem a bit strange. Yes, I'd loaded the barra, and then the rod went off on the floor, the solid bag. So it might seem a bit strange then you're moving swims, where we've actually moved lakes, but it wasn't happening there. Now, yes, I put a bucket of bait out. It's a good thing here. I put a bucket of bait out for my left and middle rod, what we said yesterday, and the right hand rod was a solid bag. Don't be afraid, if they're not there, to leave that baited area and go and find fish. You're not going to catch them. If you're on limit, we've got till tomorrow lunchtime. If them fish still didn't turn up by tomorrow lunchtime, we're not in a session, then I would have sat there. Well, what's going on here then? Doesn't matter about the bait. It's a little bit of pellets, some boilies and some corn. Leave it there, move. So anyway, we loaded the vans, the two of us. We drove round the complex, had a good look round most of the lakes with available pegs on, and then we stood here. This is Lake 5, peg 1. We started seeing them slightly to my left actually. There was a chap setting up opposite, which is peg 13, which won't do us any harm actually, because there were some fish showing in his bay. But what I've done here is initially no disturbance, 3 solid bags on fish, and we've left them. That's been about 45 minutes, an hour now. So I'm not going to have any bait out. I will put some bait out this evening, okay, and have a little lead around when these fish do definitely stop showing. They've slowed down an awful lot since I put 3 bags out, which is, you know, it's just the way it is, and we're fishing. I did phone Adam, I've got to say that, the bailiff, to check that this peg was available till tomorrow lunchtime, and it is. So now we're booked in here, which also gave Adam the opportunity to release the peg on the other lake that we'd booked, peg 10. So make sure you do that, because it's not nice then you'll end up with pegs booked all over the place. Do mention you're moving, and do check the pegs available on a go catch or with Adam, the linear bailiff. So that's that. It's about time I put the kettle on. I made me and Omar a lovely frothy coffee, because we haven't had one yet, and we've been mincing around, like I say, for a couple of hours now, walking around, driving the vans and getting prepped. So I'll get back to you in a couple of hours, or if I get one pretty soon, which hopefully we will. Till then, coffee's going on. Been a while now, nothing is showing at all. And then right out of the blue, this happened.
First bite. We've been here about an hour and a half now. When I said about 3 bags, I just put 3 bags out. This has just absolutely gone. Ooh.
Oh, we're in. Deal with that fish, mate.
Well, second one in as many minutes. Looks like we are bagging up on the bags. Hey, lovely. There she's in. Number 3.
And there, as we have it, I'm going to call this one Mr. Angry. I was just saying about Tar Farm. Let's go carp fishing, get bites, catch carp. Mid-double, don't care, it's working. So now I'm going to put him down before he starts kicking off again. Put him back and show you Mr. Impatient that couldn't wait till we finished with this one before he rattled off with my middle rod, which will then picked up the right hand rod, which ensued in carnage. Back you go, baby. Right, there we go. Fish number 2. I'm going to hold him low because he not only was impatient, he's very angry like his brother. Similar size, like peas in a pod, aren't they? He's got a couple of bruises and a couple of scales lifted, this one. I'm guessing from last week's, or whenever it was, spawning ritual, because they were going bonkers, I'm told. And there you are, another mid-double. Fish number 3 for today, from 2 different lakes, all on the same tactic. Little pink wafters, ice cream wafters in solid bags. Bagging up. Let's get him back. I've got 3 rods to attend to now because it's been wipe out, as you've seen. And let's hope we get a few more with a couple of bigger ones. Time to put you back. Thank you. Now this is a very late good night. We're definitely losing the light. My fault entirely. I just spent 2 hours surface fishing down this left-hand bank. Within 20 minutes hooked one, run me around a little bit, almost come straight out the water, and it wasn't a very big fish, but it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the hook pulled. So then I spent the next hour and a half trying to get a bite, and literally I just said to Omar, I'd just done my last cast, drew it back into a group, and I just said to Omar, wouldn't it be nice if just one of them turned around and just engulfed, whoosh, and it was off. And that just took me literally probably the best part of 15 minutes to get in. It's a lovely little rod I use there for the surface fishing, but 22, 23 pounds of mega fully scaled. Chuffed to bits for that one, absolutely chuffed to bits for that one. But what have I done for tonight? So we've covered that. Ooh, and I'm really chuffed for that one. Right, tonight I've actually, where we saw most of the fish today, straight out in front of us, it turns out it's about 12 wraps, and I've put half a bucket, only a small bucket, so probably about 15 spoms of corn and ice cream pellet with a bit of ice cream sauce on it. Mixed it all up a couple of hours before, so it's soaked it in, and I've put half a bucket out there. Like I say, not a lot, but enough to get a couple of bites. I've got 2 solid bags on top of that, and the other one is going down the side of the reeds where I'm just seeing all these fish. The surface fishing's over now, we're losing the light, and that's me for the night. So hopefully, I can't see why we won't get any in the dark out. I'm so confident here. I mean, we've had 3 fish today. We had a big lull in it, obviously, after about 11 till 2 hours ago, because it's melting hot again. But there you go. We'll see you in the morning, if not in the dark. It's an old cliche, but it's what we say. We've had a great day. See you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, and I'd like to tell you this. Nothing happened last night whatsoever, for us anyway. I had no rods in the water. I'll get back to that in a minute. But first of all, I want to talk to you about PVA bag fishing, which is what this trip has turned into, as you've seen. Now, I've got 2 sizes, medium and small. Medium and small. If I'm fishing relatively close range, probably up to about 50 yards, the medium bags are perfect. They are quite a large bag, but dush, it's like bombs going in the water, but they work well. But if I'm fishing anything from sort of 50 yards up to about 100, 110 yards, yes, I can cast that far. It's the small bags. I'm far more accurate with them. They're like little bullets. They fly fast, they sink fast, and it suits my angling perfect. It still isn't the chuck it anywhere situation. I don't think that exists in anyone's angling. Okay, right, last night, around about 11 o'clock, we pulled the rods in because they started doing the love dance, which is what they're doing behind us in the reed beds. They have been going since then. It is now 9 AM. I mean, the stamina of these fish is incredible. So they've been spawning all night long. If this happens on your lake, not just where I am now, pull them in, leave them to it, okay? They need to do, you've got the whole year after they've done this ritual. Leave them to it. You're not going to catch them. And if you do, or you're more likely going to foul hook them, if you do, they're going to be out of condition. So go home, leave them for a few days or a week, then come back and have a little go at them. So with that in mind, it's time to leave these kids doing what they're doing, and they've done it for the last 8 hours. And I need to get home myself, get out of this boiling hot weather, and readdress myself to young Deborah. So thank you very much. Time I got off. Thank you, Linear. Thank you, Tar Farm. Off I go. I'm going home.